welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'll be trying out some Flight Simulator 2024. Now this game has had a number of issues and had a very flaky launch, let's call it. I tried to play on the day one, I had to queue for hours, and when I did get in, certain assets weren't even loading, so you go into training missions and they're saying this plane's not available and things like that. So honestly, I just put it to the side for a little bit, let the traffic die down a bit, and it seems I can get into the game at will now, so that's fine. So I'm gonna finally give it a try out. So playing at a resolution of 3840 by 2160, using NVIDIA DLSS at the quality preset, and I'm also using NVIDIA frame generation, and low latency reflex comes with frame generation. There's no opting out of that once you use it. Now the global rendering quality is where you can see all of your custom options. Now I've maxed everything out because I just wanted to see what this card can do. So everything's at ultra, all the sliders at object detail and things like that have been maxed out. Game does have ray trace shadows. I don't know if that's the only form of ray tracing it has, but it does make the game a lot more demanding. So that is it for the in-game settings. I'll be using my Xbox 360 pad. I don't have a flight stick or thruster or yoke or anything like that. I'm not really a flight simulator enthusiast, but I've always appreciated how good it looks. So, and I do see the appeal. So let's just get started. I want to be flying over London, hometown, so I know it pretty well. And I just want to see how accurate it is, how true to scale it is, and where better than where you live. So we'll see. Now, as many have noted, the game requires or draws heavily now on your bandwidth. I'm using 1 gigabit up and down, so I've got a decent fiber optic connection. But even then, it still says things like bandwidth too low. So I don't understand what they want from you. If you've got a fast internet connection, it's not enough. Maybe it's a server issue on their end. So this is what I've been dealing with for the last few days. But yeah, that's looking pretty good. I can see the Millennium Dome there, or the O2 as they call it now, and that looks pretty accurate. So this is southeast London, and it's looking pretty good. They've even got the color of the Thames pretty accurate, because it's definitely not blue. So to the left there, you can see my on-screen display. That is with MSI Afterburner and RiviTuner Statistics Server. It's my custom layout, but because MSI Afterburner doesn't currently fully support the 9800X3D, I've had to get the CPU information through HW Info. There are other applications you can use, like FPS Monitor, Cap FrameX has a really good software as well. I may even have to try that out. But yeah, I'm just going around here. This is Greenwich, North Greenwich. It's where the Millennium Dome is, or the O2 now that we call it. And yeah, that looks very accurate. That is pretty much true to scale. There's Canary Wharf in the distance. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with how everything is where it should be. And they've made a greater emphasis on level of detail on things that are on the ground now. So if you do go lower, you will see quite a lot of detail. So this is a Citigroup building, HSBC building, and the Barclays building. They've been there for years. And Canary Wharf, one with a little light at the top. It doesn't seem to be flashing though, so they missed that little detail. But you can pretty much see that anywhere in southeast London. I can even see the place I used to work, which is pretty insane. That's still there, that building's still there. Nice to see. I'm gonna go and fly more into central London. You can see the Shard there, all of these new buildings that have been built up over the years. I haven't spoken about performance. As you can see, I'm getting around 90 frames per second. I should probably try out some different views, but I pretty much like flying this way. In my opinion, is just better for the visuals. So go a little bit lower now just to see how things look. I'm guessing you want to see what this game feels like without frame gen, so let's quickly go in now and turn that off and just keep DLSS quality on. But frame gen makes a huge difference on this game. Okay. So you can see now I'm into the 50s. And the 9800X 3D getting put on an extreme load. Now, I was previously overclocking that to 5.7, which I'm still kind of working out the kinks, still stabilizing. Microsoft Flight Simulator exposed a few instability issues with that settings I was using, so I'm currently back to my curve optimizer of -25 and PBO of 200 with the motherboard limits. Nice. Yeah, all the buildings are very, very well detailed. So I chose London not just because I grew up there, but it's more because it's got so many assets. It's not just like vegetation and open landscape. There's buildings everywhere, so this will give you a good indication what a populated map is going to look like. There's the Emirates Stadium, home of Arsenal. And I want to go and check out the new Tottenham Stadium as well. Shouldn't be too far away. Let's go and check out Arsenal Stadium, see how good it looks. I was reading the recommended specs on this game, and they actually recommend having 64 gigabytes of RAM. Could you believe that? So, you know, I'm not saying this is a common thing, but we may be getting to the point where 32 gigabytes may not be the best for the game to perform. So now that I don't really need super high speed RAM anymore for gaming, I may upgrade to 64 gigabytes sometime in the new year. Okay, it's not bad. It's getting very choppy now. I don't know what happened to the performance. Maybe it's loading in or streaming in more assets. Let's go for another fly over the Emirates. I just want to have a closer look. Yeah, performance is really degraded there. Yeah, you can even see the Arsenal badge. Yeah, they've done a good job with that actually. That's not too bad. Okay, so where's Tottenham Stadium? It shouldn't be too far. No, I better try not to crash this. There's Stamford Bridge, so there's Chelsea's football ground. So let's go over there and check it out. And I think in the distance we may have Tottenham's as well. So all of the big London clubs. I'm a Manchester United supporter myself, so really isn't anything football here for me. But let's go and check out Stamford Bridge. Maybe I should manipulate the weather a little bit as well. Don't know if that's possible. I wonder. I think you can do it, I'm just not too sure how to do it. Yeah, you can't do it from here at least. Not that I know of. I'll look into that more for next time. But we got a decent amount of cloud cover. The weather is meant to be dynamic, so maybe it will start raining, who knows. Like the BT tower? I think it is the BT tower. Yeah, it is. Still there. It's been around for years. Man, the performance goes from good to bad when you're flying into new areas. I guess it's a streaming thing, but that really does make the experience very, very choppy. I'm going to put frame generation back on because it just felt so much better than what I'm feeling now. Yeah, with frame gen you can see all of that stutter just disappears for some reason, so it really is the best way to play the game. I know not everyone is a frame generation fan, but honestly for this type of game it does actually work. There's Buckingham Palace. Everyone thinks, you know, His Majesty the King actually lives there. They don't really live there, but it's more of for the tourists at this point, in my opinion. But yeah, if you got frame gen, definitely use it on this game. It makes a world of difference. Flight simulators traditionally just being quite CPU bound, and when you use like frame gen, it does kind of take that pressure off your CPU a little bit. Okay, so we're approaching Stamford Bridge now. Let's change the view a little bit just so you guys can see inside. That looks pretty impressive. Okay, here's Chelsea Stadium. It's a bit small for a club like Chelsea, so the new owner's planning on building a massive new stadium. He spent crazy money since he bought that club. Let's go over another flyover again, just to get closer to see the detail. Let's try not to crash. If this was a bigger plane, I would have probably been in the ground already. Yeah, that is pretty well detailed. What's most impressive for me is just everything is where it should be. And I guess that's why they rely so heavily on Google Maps data. And, you know, why we have to be dependent on assets being streamed in. I guess if you were to download all of this data locally to your hard drive, it would be huge. Anyway, just want to show you guys how Flight Simulator 2024 performed, and when it works it's okay, but it has a lot of issues and they really had a very poor launch. Pretty embarrassing, to be honest. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it for me. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.